So here I am, sitting here last night, just chilling. Got done with a full day of work, got my workout in, and I thought I would just sit down, play some Elden Ring, and listen to Timcast IRL going on in the background. Jack Posobiec was on last night. And during the show, he comes out and he mentions a couple of our esteemed congresspeople have made some interesting statements, which have me questioning their motivations. So, first of all, I don't know, I really don't know which one is more egregious, but I'd like to bring you to Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Representative, I believe he's a representative of the 16th District of Illinois. With this tweet here, this is a good moment to renew my call for a no-fly zone at the invitation of the Ukraine government. I fear if this continues, we will have to intervene in a bigger way. So, here's the thing, Congressman Kinzinger. Creating a no-fly zone is more or less an act of war. You're sort of declaring war at that point, because how does one institute a no-fly zone? Well, basically they're saying that they're going to shoot down any Russian aircraft that fly over the zone. And that's direct U.S. involvement. Now, I'll bring you to an even better one. Congressman Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. Is there a Brutus in Russia? Is there a more successful Colonel Stauffenberg in the Russian military? The only way this ends is for somebody in Russia to take this guy out. You'd be doing your country and the whole world a great service. A United States elected official calling for the assassination of a world leader. You can't see it from this page, but I immediately called for his resignation. That is completely unacceptable and a complete escalation of rhetoric in this ongoing conflict, one which we are not currently directly involved with. But now, see what these people have done. They've implemented a reason for the United States to be scapegoated into any further actions that Russia takes. So say a U.S. military base in Poland, for example, gets struck with a missile. Well, they can just come out and say, well, this is for the security of President Putin because we've got sitting U.S. senators calling for his assassination. It can be seen as a retaliatory or preventative strike. Meanwhile, you've got other congressmen calling for other measures to be taken directly involving the United States or NATO in Ukrainian airspace. See, it makes me wonder, where do these neocons' interests actually lie? Do they have stock in Halliburton or any of these other weapons of war manufacturers? I wouldn't doubt it. I looked up their stock exchanges, their reported stock exchanges. I can't find anything. But who's to say that their pockets aren't getting a little greased by the war machine? It's possible. It's very possible. Now you can have your arguments as to whether or not we should get directly involved in the Ukrainian invasion. But the fact of the matter is, this is not the way. These people, they don't care about your sons, your daughters, your brothers and sisters. They don't care. Sitting U.S. officials typically get higher approval ratings during wartime in the first place. Whereas this time, you know what? I'm curious as to if this would be any different, because I think that the common public opinion, at least in the United States, is that we should not get involved in this. Now you'll see a bunch of people in here who've got the Ukrainian flag in their. You'll see a bunch of people who've got the Ukrainian flag in their profile pictures, who've they've actually replaced that with freshly vaccinated or whatever. It's just these typical NPCs who are cheering for this kind of thing. We need to get involved. We need to save Ukrainian lives. We need to save Ukrainian lives. They didn't care about the people in Syria or Yemen, Libya. They didn't give a shit about any of them. But now all of a sudden they've got the Ukrainian flag in their bios and their profile pictures and everything, and they're cheering this kind of thing on. And then you've got sitting congressmen, calling for action in Ukraine. One of them calling for the assassination of a world leader, which is beyond me. Why he thought that this would be a good idea. And I'll actually show you here. You've got this Fox News segment playing here in the background.
Somebody in Russia has to step up to the plate. Is there Brutus in Russia? Is there a more successful Colonel Stauffenberg in the Russian military?
So you can see that this was a prepared statement. He ran this by his staffers, saying, hey, is this okay? Is this okay? His advisors. Is this okay for me to say? And they okayed it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is great. Go ahead and say it. In what world is this okay? Meanwhile, something else I wanted to talk about. Microsoft suspends new sales in Russia. We are announcing today that we suspend all new sales of Microsoft products and services in Russia. In addition, we are coordinating closely and working in lockstep with the governments of the United States and the European Union and the United Kingdom, and we are stopping many aspects of our business in Russia in compliance with governmental sanctions decisions. And this got me thinking. I wonder, I've been hearing stories about different companies ceasing business with Russia. So I've got the CNN article pulled up here. Let's see. This was updated yesterday, March 3rd. So these are all the businesses who are either ceasing business or putting some sort of a hold on the way that they do business in Russia. Ford Autos, suspending operation in Russia. Deeply concerned about the situation in Ukraine. It's got, I believe it says, employs 4,000 people in Russia. General Motors says that it was halting all exports in the country until further notice. Now, it only sells 3,000 vehicles, but still. Volkswagen, stopping production of vehicles in Russia. Boeing, Airbus. Apple has stopped selling its products in Russia. Facebook is blocking access to Russian news outlets RT and Sputnik across the European Union. God forbid we know what Russian state media is saying. God forbid. Twitter has similarly announced plans to reduce visibility and amplification of Russian state media content. Again, God forbid we know what they're saying. Netflix, Spotify, Roku, YouTube, Airbnb, BP, Equinor, Exxon, Shell, Total Energies, MasterCard, Visa, DirecTV, Disney, Warner Media, H&M, IKEA. I mean, look at all these businesses. All these corporations suspending business with Russia. Forget all of the Russian citizens who are protesting this action. Why are they getting... Why Why are the Russian citizens being punished by these companies? These companies have no business punishing citizens of other countries. That's not what they're there to do. They're working in lockstep with government. This has become what we're looking at right now is the evolution of our society into a global corporatocracy. Soon, you might be applauding this right now. I know I've interacted with people on Facebook who are applauding this kind of thing right now. And the problem with that is, how long is it until this is turned on you? You can sit here in America and say, oh yeah, it's good. It's good that MasterCard and Visa are suspending services to certain banks so that people can't use their services. It's good that they're doing that because it puts pressure on the population of Russia to protest and try to oust President Putin. Okay, sure. We'll take that. We'll take that for what it is. But as soon as you start giving this power to corporations, to massive multinational corporations, how long before that's turned on you? Before your fellow countrymen say that you committed some sort of hate crime by calling someone a certain name, or you took a certain action, or God forbid you bought too much meat in a day, your carbon footprint is too large, and they keep you from buying a steak, or they say you didn't put in enough hours at your job this month, so we're going to keep you from, you can't make purchases on Steam or on Xbox or PlayStation Store. Your leisure time is therefore hampered. This is leading directly into a social credit score type situation. The kind of thing we're seeing going on in China right now, where there are systems which will capture you on camera, have facial recognition software, broadcast your face and your name on television screens all over the street, and humiliate you for an act as simple as jaywalking. That's where we're going. The only difference is that now what we're looking at here are corporations doing the same thing as opposed to our elected officials. And I don't see anything being done about it. In fact, it's being cheered on by people who are taking the moral stance that we need to support Ukraine. This is not something that corporations need to take a stance in my humble opinion. But what do I know? What do I know? I'm just some layman who has a 40-hour work week, is able to somehow pay his bills, probably won't last that way for long. Thanks, Brandon. Anyway, I will leave it there. I just wanted to get that out because it's something that is going on right now, and I can't sit by and at least not try to get my opinion out there and let this, we can't just let this happen. Because it might not be bad right now, but just you watch. It'll get worse. You're already seeing the banning of people from social media platforms. Alex Jones, perfect example. Milo Yiannopoulos, another perfect example. Basically depersoned on the internet. I don't necessarily agree with everything that they're saying. Now, Alex Jones, they need to stop proving him correct. But, I mean, they'll take away your ability to collect payment. I mean, look at GoFundMe and the Canadian truckers. Take away your ability to receive money. Chase Bank took away the ability for, I believe it was the Proud Boys, to do any sort of financial transactions, at least with them. So yeah, these companies taking a moral stance, unacceptable, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop now. This is not their place. We elected people like Adam Kinzinger and Lindsey Graham to deal with this kind of thing. Now, albeit, these two in particular are doing a shit job right now. Neocons, get them the fuck out of office because this is unacceptable. Primary their asses and get somebody else in who actually, I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican or independent. I have my, well, I'm not going to say I don't care. I don't want a Democrat in there. But primary these motherfuckers because this is unacceptable. And you know that they're only calling for this kind of stuff because they, one, want the situation in Ukraine to escalate. And two, well, I guess it's not two reasons, but they want the situation to escalate in Ukraine, and they're going to make money off of it, and they don't care who gets killed because of it. These people are bleeding our country dry. They're killing our countrymen for their own gain. And that's all I got to say about that. So if you like that and you want to hear more from me, please just like and subscribe. However, you can show support, or if you don't like what I have to say, you can dislike it as well. But if you stuck with me this long, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Go pick up something heavy. Peace.